So I actually think that energy management is more important than time management. So all day long, we're giving energy, and it's really important for and everyone, but especially leaders, to be conscious of how much energy we're also putting in. And some people think, oh, if I rest or if I do something that's like playing, working out, sports, hobbies, that's going to put energy back in. But that I actually believe that's too limiting in the way that you think about how we generate energy. When we're in our zone of genius, it's very generative. So as you touch on those two memories that you just shared, it gave you energy. It just didn't deplete you. And what I started to notice is my experience in being in excellence was I did feel very depleted. There wasn't a balance of energy being put in versus energy going out. And so that's one of the things that I started to notice about myself, where it didn't help that I was a little bit of a success addicted workaholic, because I was in a very bad and unhealthy pattern of outsourcing approval. For years, I chased approval in my career, believing that if other people approved of me, if I met the conditions for success that my parents had prescribed for me, then I would be whole and enough. And so it took a lot of self-work for me to understand that I am whole, perfect, and complete just the way I am, without needing to do more. So that was one step that I needed to take before I started to also realize, okay, this job that I'm spending most of my waking time doing, besides overworking, why does it feel like I'm not balanced in terms of how much energy I have? And could there be more than this? What if it didn't feel like work? What if I were to imagine we call it the most exquisite life. If I were to imagine my most exquisite life, what would I be doing? How would my life feel? What would I be experiencing? What kind of positive force would I be in this world? How would I want to impact people? And so I started to ask big questions like that. And I realized it was my upper limiting beliefs that were holding me in excellence and doing the thing that I was very good at and I had done so well in, but yet it left me feeling pretty depleted. And then also wondering some big questions around, is this what I'm really here to do? I'm not sure. Is there more? And when I imagined my most exquisite life, it wasn't the feeling that I had doing that job. So I started to go on this search of what is my genius and doing work with a coach on that. And then also facing my upper limiting beliefs around, if I leave this known world that feels safe, that other people have deemed successful, will I fail? Will people approve of me? Will I be enough? And really starting to look at the layers of that lived inside of me and starting to challenge those beliefs so that I could reach for something more fulfilling for me. And I think it looks very different for every person. So I'm not suggesting to everybody, if you're going to live in your zone of genius, you need to quit your job. It may look very different for you, but if you're asking those questions, if you're constantly feeling depleted and you don't have a reliable source of energy that's coming in the way that you're spending your time, you may not be in your zone of genius. I always say people are blind to their genius, because when you're in genius, it feels so easy. It's effortless, almost like you start to feel like the universe has your back. Things sort of fall into place. And so you don't even notice. It's hard for other people to do the thing that is your genius. So getting feedback and exercises like that stuff is really good, because people are holding mirrors to you saying wow, this is you at your best. And you might just take that for granted. So I think genius, when you're in it, actually feels easeful. It doesn't require so much effort. It doesn't feel anything like pushing a rock uphill, which in my zones of incompetence, competence, and even excellence, it just felt like more energy out than energy coming in.